Here we are in the garden now, again at the old flat, and not really that much to talk about, but we're gonna give it a go anyway. Well, the tomatoes are mainly romping away. We're not going to be short of tomatoes unless we get blight, and a few of the plants are showing signs of something. Whether it's blight or not, I don't know. It could actually be calcium, iron or manganese deficiency. Maybe that's what blight is, I don't know, but I noticed that they are the plants that were potted on later. They were younger, so they were potted on in bigger pots later in the season, and it's them younger plants that were, behind, that are ones that are suffering. But one thing I did notice is that they are also the ones that never got the chalk and soil mix. Remember, I was going to Tithe Pit Shaw Lane to the chalk quarry there, and I was bringing back a mix of soil, chalk, and there would have been rust in there as well. So the original ones got a helping of a mulch that probably contained calcium, iron and magnesium. That includes the one that's at Linda's. But the ones that were done later didn't get that, and they are the ones that are beginning to turn a bit funny. You can see that the stems are starting to turn a bit brown, and there's some leaf yellowing. So we'll just have to see. Hopefully it won't get too bad. I did add a tiny bit of chalk. There's not much. I haven't been able to get any more. Whether it actually help or not, I don't know. But as for the first ones, as you know, I've been going to Keston and getting the spring water, so I'm trying my best to water these with the Keston spring water, and there's no shortage of tomatoes on here. No shortage. I've had to pick a couple off that looked like they were going a bit weird, but no, loads of tomatoes. Same with this one as well, which is called Big Daddy or something the like. But there's more flowers, so there may be more tomatoes later. Look at the size of that one, and that, you can see that the potato behind is starting to turn yellow now, so it won't be long before that's ready. We got this massive stonking one over here, and as you can see, again, there's lots of little tomatoes in there. But will they come to anything? Will they survive the miserable British weather and the pollution? Don't know. Oh, almost fell over. And there is some little peppers developing. They're not really easy to see, but there's one in the middle there. There's a pepper. Yeah, these I watered these yesterday or the day before. You can just see that they're beginning to turn yellow now, so it won't be long before they're ready. Later this month or next month. This pumpkin or squash or whatever it is, I'm not really sure what it is, but it's romping away now. But again, this is Britain, and we're affected by drearism and pollution, and it's making its way literally over this now. But the more leaf it puts on, the better. More energy for the plant, and it's still growing. Loads of different stems coming off of it. The strawberries are literally going nuts at the moment. You can see that they're producing their runners. And this is a cutting from one of them. I made another one. It's slightly smaller, and there's some charcoal in the bottom. But this is a new one I've just started. Water's about 3/4 of the way up. We've had quite a bit of water, but then it stopped again. Also got a cucumber here, and I'm hoping that this will do something. It looks promising. We've not had any snail or slug damage at the moment. So yeah, I'm hoping that cucumber's going to do something too. The only thing is, the pumpkin is shading out all the strawberries on the floor. Filled up that bird feeder, but it's not likely we'll have any birds at the moment. Yeah, so a bit of a worry with them two tomatoes that are planted a bit later. But it's coming on. There's some variety, not a massive variety of plants. Oregano's got flowers all over it. That's going to flower soon, and I've been picking bits off of it for my tea. Marjoram. One, two, three, 4 peppers on there, maybe more coming, 5, who knows. And even this one, they're starting up. Planted this up, it's just begonias, and that's a white Busy Lizzie. And among other news, I found something earlier today. It's interesting, it's pretty, but I may not use it. It's just going to go into the oddity cabinet. I was at the bus stop at South Norwood, and there's a big wheelie bin there. Someone's just left it there and they're filling it up basically. And I found a grinder on the top. It's a nice one. It was a bit damaged when I first found it. It wasn't screwing together. Someone had dropped it and it got a bit dented inwards, so I had to get pliers and bend it out again so it would close. But we'll take a look at this. Talk about bling. Look at that. A grinder. That must have been worth a bit. But I don't do the 420 trees myself, but that'll probably go into the oddity cabinet. And it's got 1, 2, 3 different levels. The one I got from Chrome and Black graffiti shop was the same, but that was a green one. It looked a bit more simple. It didn't have all this rap hip hop stuff on the top. R&B. The top is a little bit stiff, but the other levels will open up. It's virtually unused. It was virtually unused, and then I think someone opened it and dropped that section, and then it dented it, and then they got rid of it. So that would just go straight into the oddity cabinet, I think. Unless we can put some catnip in it. Should we put some catnip in here? That might be an idea. Why don't we put some catnip in here? We can have a catnip grinder. Yeah. What do you think, eh? Catnip grinder? Not impossible, you know. Not much of any other news that I know of. Still waiting for stuff to happen. As far as I know, a deposit has been paid on a new greenhouse. We just got to get the base made for the greenhouse. I don't know if that's going to happen within 6 weeks. It would be nice, but hoping I don't lose my deposit. But the base needs to go down now, and the greenhouse will be ordered and paid for eventually, so there's no rush to install the greenhouse itself. It's just the base, you know. Not much other change. The industrial hemp is doing well. Now that I'm talking about grinders, this isn't going in there. I'm just using the leaves for tea. I might pick off a leaf for tea, herbal tea, but it's industrial hemp. You can tell it is because it's very tall and very narrow, upright, but you can see that it is starting to bud. But that's industrial hemp basically, very tall. The cannabis plant would be much lower and denser, and the leaves are a bit thicker. But I think that's going to win now. Yeah, a bit of an issue with a couple of tomatoes. I'm hoping it doesn't spread to the rest, but that's life, innit, really. I don't think they will. I think it's happened because they didn't get the lime treatment, the chalk and the soil top up, so there might not be enough nutrient inside the compost, and they needed a bit more soil. But it's just how it works basically. I'm going to end it here. I need to go upstairs and have something to eat.